Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I am Cody. This is my assistant Tommy, and I'm going to be doing a review of the full-size Lionsteel KUR, K-U-R. This is an interesting knife, and I don't love it, and I'm going to explain to you the benefits and drawbacks of this design. First off, you have a really nice blade shape. You have a drop point, full flat, stone washed Sleipner steel blade, and practicality is excellent in terms of the grind and the shape and the size. 3.5-inch blade, 4.5-inch handle. I wear extra large gloves, and I still have some space at the back of the handle there. So even with gloves, I'd have a full purchase on the knife. You can operate this knife with gloves, no problem, because you have a generous access area for the liner here. And there is good access to the flipper, and it runs on bearings, so deployment is smooth and consistent. Quickly, what I like about the knife is visually, it's beautiful to look at. You have a crowned spine. A crowned means rounded off, smoothed. You have a crowned back spacer. And you got your wire clip here. This version is the plain blade with the, looks like bead blast color hardware. And it's an attractive looking package. You can also get brown G10. You can get a coated blade also to look more tactical. Would I consider this to be a tactical knife? Yes, because it's thick enough at the blade stock to be durable, and also the shape of the blade is going to allow for piercing, slicing, and cutting, and you can operate it with gloves. So to me, those are the main features a tactical knife should have: durability, piercing, slicing, cutting ability, and being able to operate it with gloves and some sort of a guard for penetrating so that your hand is not going to slip forward and get cut. Yeah, so you have some usable jimping here. I would call that medium jimping, borderline harsh, not mild, and it's in a good spot for providing some traction. All of the hand positions are comfortable, so it's a nice blocky. I like blocky handle designs as they tend to be pretty neutral. You do have this finger guard / flipper, which is well implemented. You have a beautiful textured G10 handle. You have cool little logo for ball bearing, and really nice smoothed triangle shaped back spacer, or not back spacers, back fillers on the show side. Opposite the screws, you have an exterior lanyard built into the back spacer. Position of the wire pocket clip is excellent. Really comfortable, perfectly usable. You get your deep carry, just very tip of the pommel off of the back spacer is showing. It's not going to be offensive to anybody. Fit and finish, that's pretty good. I think the blade is off center a little bit, 0.5 millimeter to one side. I did adjust it to get it there. But you know what? It deploys straight and it's being pushed opposite the liner side. So I think it's really probably could just be the tension of the liner pushing it over. And because the blade is not rubbing against the frame when it's closed, and it deploys straight with no blade play up, down, left, or right, I'm not going to fault the off-centeredness in the closed position because, as you can see, it's minor and there is space on both sides of the frame that the blade's not touching. So yeah, fit and finish is very good. The feel in hand in terms of weight and size, it feels really secure. It does feel like I'm not going to be slipping off. There are a couple hot spots for me that I haven't heard other reviewers mention. It's this ridge. This ridge is a hot spot for me. It's almost sharp. Hear that? It's almost sharp. Probably I could take this edge off with some sandpaper and get rid of most of that edge. Also, you can see here, Lionsteel has decided to make a gap, widen the gap in the handles. And what it accomplishes, you can see right there, it's weird. I guess it's a place for the thumb to sink into if you're going back here. And it's not uncomfortable, but I feel it's unnecessary. I guess a benefit of that is if your thumb sinks in a bit, that's going to aid in control for twisting. But I would prefer if the designers didn't mill out these little spaces right here and just left it. Also, yeah, I wish that even though visually it looks nice to have this slash here and this, carved out space for the fingers, it's actually probably would be more comfortable if they just left it flat and then chamfered off this space, made it rounded. What's an example like this? If they just had the handle like this, left it blocky, just rounded off the side here, that would eliminate having this little narrow ridge between the liner and the handle. So when I'm holding it, these are the two things I notice, the ridge here and these cutouts here for the thumb. And it bothers me, it annoys me. It feels like, they're the parts that are digging into my hand a little bit. Now, is that going to be a hot spot? Not with gloves. With gloves on, perfectly fine, but in bare hands, with cutting, yeah, this is gonna be a hot spot. And maybe not for the thumb area, especially if you go up. But if you want the full length of the blade for piercing, I don't appreciate this cutouts here. I think it would be more comfortable. And because there's jimping here, it'd be ultimately secure with the thumb. I just find it unpleasant that there's a gap here. I don't mean the flow through, I mean there's little milled out sections right there. So other than that, this is a great knife. And none of the reviewers I've seen reviewing the knife mentioned these as being uncomfortable. So if you get the opportunity to handle one, if the ridge here and this little gap does not bother you, you're gonna probably love this knife. This is going to be good for anyone with medium to extra large hands. I have extra large hands. And I mean, you're definitely going to notice this in your pocket in terms of handle width. It's on the wide side. It is. It's a wide handle for about an 8-inch knife. Let's see, should be about 8 inches total length. Yeah, 8 inches of length. And so I like wide, chunky handles for hand security, you know, like getting a full grip on it. Downside of that is you're going to feel it in your pocket, right? The narrower the handle, the more it's going to be comfortable when you're sitting with it in your front pocket. But the trade-off is worth it for me. I prefer a wide handle. I'll show you my textbook example of a wide handle that is worth the trade-off. Is the Benchmade Presidio 2. Wide handle, feels really secure in hand. And I do definitely notice this width in my pocket, just the dimensions of this knife. I notice it in my pocket, and this is similar dimensions. So that's my only two complaints about the design, is this ridge and the cutout. Okay, other than that, this is a great knife. Cutting geometry is excellent out of the box. Nice even blade, nice even apex, not off center. Yeah, it's a beautiful knife to look at. And I would say this for somebody could be a very good knife if I didn't also at the same time order another Lionsteel knife that I liked way more. This is going to be an upcoming review, the Lionsteel SR11. This knife, I love this knife. So it has its own imperfection in that this area, there's no jimping. And to me, this is a perfect knife for this size in terms of design. There should just be 2 jimps here, 2 jimps here, and maybe medium texture, and that would make this knife 10 out of 10 perfect frickin' knife. As it stands, this is a 9 out of 10 great knife, but I'll do a full review on this guy later. This guy, I got to take a point away for feeling weird on the back and a point away for this ridge here, which would be improvable if I just bothered to sand this. If I was going to keep this knife, this is the most annoying part. This part is less annoying. And the problem is there's not a lot of space between the frame and the frame lock. As you can see there, it's quite narrow. It gets quite thin. And so if I were to be a little bit incautious with my sanding, this could actually be sanded back and actually make this draw down a little bit, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to sell this knife because I like this knife more, and they're very comparable for theory of use and dimensions and materials for the blade. Same blade steel. This has aluminum handle. This is G10. This is a lot thicker, which is nice in hand. This is taller, so comparable amount of hand security, in my opinion. This texture is nice. It's medium. It has traction to it. This is not gonna, your hand is not gonna slip off of this. Somebody might love this knife again. If this is not a problem for you, or if you want to sand this a little bit to just get the edge off, you know, if the edge is like this, you can sand it and just make it more comfortable. Yeah, this could be someone's perfect knife. Price $230 Canadian on bladescanada.com. yeah, just one or two quick comments again about the design. I don't know what this is, but there's a little circle here. I think it's actually a Torx. It's probably a T6. Don't know what adjusts there. It's kind of interesting that it's on the end of the flipper tab. This is really cool looking. You have a milled out liner. Milled, what I say is you have machine lines going off in a diagonal that, yeah, it matches the machine lines diagonally on the G10 perfectly. So again, visually the design is beautiful. There's been lots of flexes, industry flexes for machining with the crowning and the beautiful finish and the beautiful texture on the G10. But yeah, little tiny bit overstyled. Get rid of this, maybe make this less aggressive, or have this chamfered, smoothed from the box. But it's a very usable blade shape and could be someone's favorite knife. Do a quick size comparison here. So this is about 7.8 inches total length, steel will 10-2. I'm going to review shortly. Very good knife for the money. $49 Canadian on Blades Canada. I'll go into more detail on that later. I got this guy today, Benchmade Griptilian, and this has a really nice cutting edge on it. The 3 Griptilians I've owned in the past had really wide cutting edges that were not good. This one, for some reason, is maybe thinner of a cutting edge, cuts great. And a little tiny bit longer is the Lionsteel KUR. A little bit longer is the ANV Z. Is this the Z200? Z100. I've taken a liking to this knife. I reviewed this recently and I think I gave it an 8 out of 10. I'm actually going to give it a 9 out of 10 because having used this on some wood, on some maybe some hard tasks, it's held up really well and it's been nice and secure. So I'm raising this from an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. And a little bit longer is the Lionsteel SR11. This one's aluminum handle, Sleipner steel. And then you've got an Endura here. And so you get to see where this fits. So that concludes my review of the Lionsteel KUR. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll do a review of a new knife soon. See you later.